For the last couple of years, we've all gotten pretty used to AIs that can talk, but we're on the cusp of something way bigger, AI that can actually do things. And let me tell you, this leap from just chatting to taking autonomous action, it changes absolutely everything. So let's dive in and break down what that really means.
Okay, to really get why this is such a monumental shift, we've got to be clear on the difference here. Chatbots, right? Even the smartest ones are basically incredible brains stuck in a browser tab. They can think, they can write, but they can't act. Agents, on the other hand, well, agents have hands. They can actually reach into your computer, your apps, your files, and get stuff done.
And that's where something like OpenClaw comes into the picture. It's an open source agent that, and this is the key part, you host yourself. It runs right on your machine, which gives it direct access to your whole environment. We're talking your terminal, your browser, your files, all commanded through something as simple as a Telegram chat. It's built to be your own personal AI coworker. So, what does having an AI coworker actually look like? What can you do with it? Let's get into the exciting stuff.
The possibilities here are frankly amazing. Imagine this. Instead of spending an hour digging through API docs, you just tell OpenClaw, hey, go to the Stripe documentation, figure out how to create a recurring subscription with their newest SDK, and just give me a code summary. And it will. It'll browse the web, read everything, and then drop a brand new file on your computer with the answer. It's like having a junior dev on call 24/7.
But here is where it gets really, really powerful. You don't have to be some coding wizard to teach it new tricks. You give OpenClaw new skills by just writing a simple markdown file. You explain the task in plain English, almost exactly like you would if you were delegating to a new hire on your team.
And the structure for these skill files is incredibly straightforward. You give the skill a name, you write a clear description of when the AI should use it, you toss in a few examples of how someone might ask for it, and then you just point it to the actual script it needs to run. That description piece, that's the secret sauce. It's how the AI figures out which tool in its toolbox is the right one for the job.
Okay, so that's the awesome part. But with this kind of incredible power comes a completely new kind of risk. If this agent is a coworker, we have to talk about what happens when that coworker has a very, very bad day. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? When a chatbot gets something wrong, okay, it's bad information. It's annoying. But when an agent with access to your entire system gets confused, or worse, compromised, the consequences are on a totally different level. We are playing a whole new ballgame when it comes to security. And these are not some far-off sci-fi scenarios. A confused agent could easily try to debug a problem by printing out all your environment variables, including your secret keys, right into a public log. It could see a command like curl/bash in a GitHub issue, think, oh, that looks helpful, and just run it with your permissions. It could accidentally commit sensitive data or just completely wreck your SSH config. These are the classic failure modes of automation, but now they're supercharged by an AI that's just trying to be helpful. And if you think I'm being dramatic, check this out. Recent research from ArchiveX confirms just how real these dangers are. Direct prompt injection, basically tricking the agent through its chat window, works over 94% of the time. Hiding malicious instructions inside a document that the agent reads, that works over 83% of the time. But the one that really gives me chills is the inter-agent trust attack. That's right, 100%. Let that sink in. In systems where you have multiple agents working together, if you can trick just one agent into telling another to do something malicious, every single model they tested just did it. No questions asked. This shows that the trust between agents is a massive and right now a completely undefended attack surface. So how in the world do we manage this risk? This isn't about being afraid of AI. It's about being smart and disciplined. We have to start treating these agents like what they are, basically junior employees with root access. And here's a practical checklist for how to do that safely. First things first, you have to put the agent in a padded room. Use OpenClaw's built-in sandbox mode, which runs it inside a container. And here's the crucial part. Only give it access to the one project directory it needs to work on, not your entire computer. That way, if it does go off the rails, the damage is contained. Second, you have to embrace the principle of least privilege. Use allow lists for absolutely everything. The shell commands it can run, the files it can touch, the websites it can visit. Your default policy has to be deny. If it's not on the list, it's not happening.
And you should always require a human to say yes for any high-risk stuff, like deleting files. Third, and this is a big one, protect your secrets. Create a totally separate, very limited set of credentials just for the agent. Never, ever let it see your personal SSH keys. And you have to operate under one core assumption. Anything the agent can see, you should assume it could eventually leak, period. Fourth, you need to be able to see what's going on and be able to stop it. That means you got to regularly audit its permissions and actually review the logs of what it's been doing. And just as important, you need a kill switch, a way to instantly shut it down and revoke all its access if you see anything sketchy. And finally, a super simple but critical rule of thumb: keep your personal and work agents separate. Your personal bot might have access to your calendar, your notes, your private stuff. If you add that bot to a group chat, it could easily blurt out something it shouldn't. For any kind of team environment, you create a dedicated work bot with its own separate, limited permissions. So, after all that, what's the big takeaway? It really comes down to a fundamental change in how we have to think about the AI tools we're building and using every day. This right here is the whole philosophy. Security isn't about hobbling the agent or making it less capable. Not at all. It's about building the guardrails so that all that power is predictable. We want its actions to be exactly what we expect, every single time. Good security is what unlocks the full potential of these things. And this brings us to the most important mindset shift you have to make. An AI agent is not a toy. It's not just a chatbot. It is a new security principle on your system. Think of it as a non-human user, an identity that can take actions on your behalf. And we have to start treating it with that level of seriousness. So ultimately, it really just comes down to this one question. You are bringing a new autonomous user onto your system. So what permissions are you going to give it? What are its boundaries? It's up to you to decide. Now, while all these principles are pretty clear, actually implementing them correctly, especially when you're talking about a business environment, can get really complex really fast. Building an agent that's both powerful and secure requires some pretty specialized expertise. For any businesses out there, especially in the Silicon Valley area, that are looking to build out these kinds of enterprise-grade solutions, KaizenApps.com is the go-to agency. They specialize in this exact thing, creating powerful and, most importantly, secure custom AI agents for businesses. They handle all the technical complexity so you can focus on your actual business goals. You can find out more over at KaizenApps.com.